Many of you are probably well familiar with this. You know, the old mine, the one you start with. Oh, look at this. Doesn't it feel good? Great for the concussions, right? Well, the thing is, you don't have to suffer like this. There is an alternative. Actually, there's a few alternatives, which I'm going to show you one that is actually one of my favorites. So, firstly, this one is not too aesthetically pleasing. It's a concussion machine, and honestly, it doesn't really get all that much ore out compared to other ways of mining. And let's quickly set the time in a hurry. But basically, what we're going to do is create an actual mine shaft. So the first thing you're going to want to do is select a 3 by 3 area. And let me quickly just fix this. Okay. Just going to set it to noon. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, and we just go ahead and do this until we get to about y equals -14. So I'm going to save you the time, but basically you want to go one layer at a time, just in case you accidentally hit some sort of thing like a cave, pitfall, really anything. Lava, you don't want to hit that. But basically, try and get down to about y equals -14. So I'm just going to stop here for half a sec, go and do that, be right there. Alright, so now we're down here. But before you say, wait, how am I going to get out of here? I'm now stuck in the bottom of a pit. No, you're not. The thing is, as you've been going down all this way, you've actually been gathering a ton of resources. All this stone, you've been picking it up. All the stone and other stuff. So what you're actually going to be able to do now is you're going to be able to bring this all up in a spiral. Now, I would advise bringing a crafting table with you, because the ideal way to go about this is actually to use slabs. But what I'm going to do, just because, for the sake of this, just because we don't want to be placing blocks all day, we're just going to place full blocks. But what you can see is that it actually makes a pretty effective spiral staircase. And you're not going to hit your head. So look at how far apart those blocks are spaced. Really far apart. So once you get all that done, of course, you switch over to a wood type block, or really any type of block you want to decorate with. Whatever is your aesthetic, use that. You're going to pillar up through the center. That actually removes any chance of falling. So once you pillar up, of course, if we want to do it the correct way, so we're going to try and land on this. Just hold shift, place the blocks. So we're going to quickly speed this up and just place this all, and you'll see the end result. At this point, you now have a very simple staircase that goes on down to whatever well level you're wanting. So the next step obviously is to light it up. Well, I do think that the torches are okay for this. I do think you may want to, of course, switch to having something a little more advanced later on, like lanterns. But since we're focused on simple, we're going to just use torches. And as you can see, nothing's spawning in yet because we are making good time on this. And then we get back to the bottom. Now, what do we want to do here? Since we are now at the bottom, our next step is quite obviously to start expanding outwards. So there's really only two directions. Actually, there's three directions you can go from here. What I would advise is actually spreading out into this direction, and if we had our pickaxe, this would give us the diamonds, and this direction back here. Now, what you really want to do, though, is make your tunnels 3 tall. The reason you want it 3 tall is that if you get chased, you can sprint, and you can also block your path and then jump over that. Yeah, you can do a lot of things, but it also makes things a little easier for quality of life. And as you can see, got some iron there. But what do you want to do after that is quite simply, once you got all that going, you can just go right back to the surface. Look at how much room you have between each section. Close to 7 blocks or so between each layer of the floor. And of course, we're trying to get back up to the surface, and it's taking us some time. And then, of course, oh, I also almost forgot to mention, suppose you want to mine a different level. You can just go ahead and actually knock out a new platform. Makes it very simple to expand by having this simple little pillar shaft in the middle. Then once you have the platform, you just expand further outward. Very simple. Nothing that is too fancy. And really, it's way safer and more aesthetically pleasing. And hey, look at that. Then as you go up, you of course want to finish the top of it. So how would we want to work on the top? Well, most of your mine shafts often have a little bit of just like a sort of simple structure on top. And we do want to be able to see where a mine is without having to traverse all that ground. So we're going to do something really simple. We don't want to actually fall in, so we have this L shape. But we can also go ahead and place just a little bit of oak wood around it. And then just put these little arch things around. And it gives it a little bit of shape. And then once you're done with that, very simple next step is to go ahead and place these fence gates. Once you have the fence gates around, that protects it and allows you easy access without really any other issues. So tell me what you think down below. This is a very simple thing that really shouldn't take you much time at all to complete if you decide to build it. And it's just a basic idea, a basic simple day one thing that you can do for your mines. And yeah, very simple. And yeah, I hope to see you around in the next video. And if you have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. I am always looking for new things to try and build. All right, see you around.